You want me to put the hammer down?
And drop the hammer he did. Coming out as the victor of one of the biggest hip-hop beefs in recent memory, fans and critics alike have been dying for a new K-Dot project. Enter GNX, and boy does Kendrick have a lot to say. Peekaboo. Y'all already read the title, y'all already know what y'all getting into, man. We here to talk about that new K-Dot, that new Kung Fu Kenny, that new Kendrick Lamar, baby. Oh my gosh, man. I could not believe my eyes when I saw on my Instagram feed that Kendrick Lamar dropped a new like full-length album. I remember because I was like at my friend's house and we were getting ready to like film and go do some stuff around the town, and my boy calls me and he's like, yo Josh, why didn't you tell me Kendrick dropped a new album? I said, stop playing with me. No, he didn't. He's like, look right now. Open that Instagram. GNX, baby. OMG. Yo, that Grand National. And it's that album cover. Oh my gosh. That is hard album cover. I love that album cover. I know that Kendrick's starting to do like some pre-orders for like vinyls and CDs and stuff. And I'm definitely going to cop me one because that, iconic album cover. But yeah, man, I'm so happy to be talking about this album. As I said, like, Kendrick is the victor. Like, Kendrick has been having an incredible streak lately with the pop out, and then Not Like Us doing record breaker numbers for his career, and then, you know, the Not Like Us music video, and then Watch the Party Die. Y'all, before we get into the album, let me talk about Watch the Party Die real quick. That is such a phenomenal song. I think it perfectly encapsulates where Kendrick is right now, and I just love the lyrics. I love the beat. I love how he's riding the beat. Like, it's just such a vibe, chill out, laid back song that just talks about the woes and nastiness of the industry. Because to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of shady going around, and to just hear Kendrick talk about it so eloquently like he always does, like, that song is so good. I was really hoping, it was gonna be on this album, or he would have like released it as a single somewhere down the line, but there's this whole thing, like, even Port Antonio by J. Cole isn't even on streaming, so I guess posting stuff on Instagram and social media is the new wave. But like 616 in LA, like, I'm so pissed that song isn't on streaming. Like, that's such a, honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I heard 616 in LA, I was like, yeah, Drake is not winning this. Like, he cannot. Like, what Kendrick does on 616 in LA has to be studied by all rappers everywhere. Like, that, what Kendrick has on display on 616 in LA, like, has to be required listening for everyone that wants to be a rapper, because the way he rides the beat, the double entendres, the flow, the just ferocity that Dot has, like, yo, Drake, if you really want it, you can get it, but I advise you chill out. What Mike do? Like, I love that song. That's probably my favorite song out of the whole beef between Dot and Kendrick, but Dot and Drake. I love that song so much. But let's get into this album, man. So I have no criticisms. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed this album. This is just gonna be the Glaze Fest, the Kendrick Glaze Fest. Oh, that sounds terrible, Jesus. But no, like, I really don't have many problems with this album, if at all. I guess a nitpick, or maybe a minor critique I have is, well, it's just a nitpick, but I'm more of a fan of Kendrick when he's very introspective and talking about his feelings and his ferocity and his anger and the way he delivers stuff. Like, the highlights for this album for me were Man at the Garden and Heart Part 6 and Gloria and even Luther a little bit, because I just love when Kendrick's in that pocket, you know. I love that. But that's my only nitpick, is because I know Kendrick has another album on the way. Like, there has to be. I was looking at this video of someone breaking down the Squabble Up music video, which, fantastic song, great music video with a lot of throwbacks and homages to black culture, like Tupac's All Eyes on Me and The Roots and Nate Dogg, and just a phenomenal song that just pays tribute to black culture like Kendrick does so eloquently. A lot of the stuff he pays homages to are like double albums that came out at the time. So I definitely believe we're getting another Kendrick album either next year or before this year is out. I hope before the year is out, because I can't lie, as a Kendrick fan, we have been eating so good. First it starts with Like That, and then we got Euphoria and 616 in LA, then Meet the Grams, which crazy murder of Drake, and then Not Like Us, of course, it became the global hit that it is. And then the Pop Out, and then all these other music videos, and seeing Kendrick really be outside like that for real. Like, I'm just so happy to see one of my all-time favorite artists just be really active and out there. So I'm excited for when Kendrick goes back to that very introspective, looking back and dissecting topics like he does so eloquently throughout all of his body of work. First up, the production for this album, like so many of other Kendrick's albums, is fantastic. I know he worked with Jack Antonoff and I believe DJ Mustard again. Everything here just sounds great. I really love how everything sounds. I love the samples, like talking about Luther. I loved how he used the Luther Vandross sample. It was so good. And then I don't know why I can't remember what the name of the song was that he sampled on Squabbled Up, but my mom used to play that song all the time, so it's just like really nostalgic and be like, oh my gosh. And it's crazy that he used the sample, because I was like seeing videos when he used the Squabble Up snippet for the Not Like Us music video. There was a bunch of theories going around about what the sample was, and I didn't think it would be that, but man, like, oh, that song is such a bop. Squabble Up, like, yo, like, oh my gosh. This album has so many songs that I could envision becoming like anthems, like bops. Like, we're already seeing that he's doing breaking numbers on Apple Music, so I believe Squabble Up is there, and then Luther is doing fantastic, which I'm not surprised. I personally like Gloria more than Luther, but Luther is great and it deserves all the praise it's getting, and all the lovely ladies showing love to the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, it deserves that. I love Luther. Like I said, I love the use of that Luther Vandross sample. But yeah, the production of this album is top notch. I don't really notice any flaws with it. I really enjoyed all of the beat production. I love how Kendrick is riding on him, the flow. And speaking of the flow, I love the sequencing of this album. I love how we go from Ward Out Murals, which is a crazy way to open the album. Like, he came in swinging, talking about some, it used to be F that, now it's everybody. Like, I hate all y'all. I hate the industry. And this is crazy that I saw, but Kendrick's mural, I think it was for in honor of Not Like Us. Like, his mural got defaced. Like, there's a bunch of graffiti and stuff all over it. So that's kind of crazy. That's nutty. That's crazy. So I love how Kendrick comes out swinging, and then we go into Squabble Up, and then Luther, and then we go from there, and we just go duh, 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 duh. I just love how it all flows into one another, and it doesn't feel out of place, you know? One of the critiques I've heard is it kind of feels like it's just thrown together, and I honestly have to disagree. I think the beats flow into one another pretty well. I think how Kendrick sets up each song goes into each other song very, very well. So I love the sequencing of this album. This really adds a lot to making such a fantastic body of work, because I love this album. So good. So many songs I could just bop my head to. Like, out of all the Kendrick albums, I believe this is the one that you could bump to the most. And I say that because we have songs like Squabble Up and TV Off. Hold on, y'all. All I ever wanted was a black Grand National. Being rational. Give them what they asked for. Yo, oh my God. That is incredible. That beat, Mustard on a beat. DJ. You killed that. That, I get chills whenever I think about TV Off. Like, honestly, I just like, I feel them right now. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yo, like, I want to stop doing this review and play like Grant, like I want to play that song right now. It's that good. So many songs on here just have such a long play life. Like you could go back to these songs. I'm probably saying that wrong, but you could go back to these songs over and over again and be like, oh, I didn't notice this, or I like this song more, or oh, this beat, oh, okay, hold on, what's Kendrick talking about here? And I think that's a thing I love about this album the most, is that there's so much to appreciate. Even just like cultural references, beat selection, even picker lesser known artists and boosting them up here. Like I love Peekaboo. Oh my God. That song is crazy. But they talking about that. What they talking about? They talking about that. Yo! And then I believe his name is AZ Check. If I'm saying that wrong, my dog, I'm so sorry. If you ever see this review, I'm so sorry. But you slid on that, dog. Like that. Oh my gosh, I love his feature on that. And yeah, I love how this album highlights West Coast LA culture, giving such lesser known artists their time to shine. I think it's really admirable and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic way for Kendrick to use his platform that he's just gained from being the victor out of this Drake beef. And it's so funny seeing Drake just trying to Drake looks awful right now. Like Drake looks terrible right now, from the lawsuits to how he's moving to him being like, oh, y'all artificially inflated the numbers. Drake, we didn't forget, dog. Like Drake was on gospel playlists, man. Like he was being pushed. Right? I think this whole argument of talking about artificially inflating numbers is coming from the worst person possible. He benefits from this in so many ways. It's just so funny because I don't hate Drake. I'm not the biggest fan of his most recent stuff, but there's like his first album and Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. Like these are incredible runs, like even Views. Like these are incredible runs, and it's just such a shame to see him go out so sad. So we're gonna see what come out of these lawsuits, but it further solidifies that Kendrick won this beef. He really tugging at them braids. What is it, the braids? It is, twin. You tugging at them, dot. Like it is the braids. So it's just so pathetic and really, I don't know. We're going to see what comes out of this. We're going to see what information comes out. I'm going to keep it open mind. Let's see. But yeah, all this is really pathetic. But back to this album. This also solidifies for me that K-Dot and SZA are the greatest duo in the music industry right now. That's Batman and Robin. Like SZA really has a fantastic voice, and they're here we're giving her all on Gloria. Like I'm just like, oh, it's like she's singing. Even from back with All the Stars, like I knew SZA was talented, but when Kendrick and SZA come together, it's like a match made in heaven, peanut butter and jelly. And I love what they do on Luther and Gloria. And I know that SZA, I was reading somewhere that SZA said she's got an album coming out before the end of the year. Sis, we will be tapping in for sure, because you killed it on this album. And I just love how she sings. It feels kind of aggressive in a strange way, but also so calming and soothing. Like she's really giving it her all on these songs, and I'm so glad to see them come back together for this album. Speaking of things coming back for this album, I love when Dot does the voices thing and switches. This album, again, this album just shows how versatile Kendrick is as an artist. I love when he goes from that more aggressive, ego, angry to that more calming, soothing, reflective state, like with Man at the Garden. I deserve it all. Like he's telling y'all he deserves where he's at. He deserves the position he's at. He deserves all the record-breaking things that are happening in his career right now. He's been working his ass off for a minute for these songs, for just his career and the longevity that he has. He deserves all of that, and he's going to have all of that. So yeah, man, just a great album. There's so much here to take away with. And I think that's what I love about this album the most. What I love about all of the albums is just the messaging. There's so many messages here, from Man at the Garden to Kendrick just being like, I'm sick of the industry and I'm sick of you guys treating me this way. It's really F all of y'all. He started out with Watch the Party Die, and he's continuing it into this album. He's had enough of the industry stuff. Calling out Snoop and being like, hey, yo, I hope it was the edibles, dude, because you're tripping. Or even being like, dang, I guess I let my hard work let Lil Wayne down. he's kicking ass and taking names. He does not have time for the BS with the industry, and I respect that a ton. Because I could imagine how difficult and frustrating it must be to be in Kendrick's position, to have all the success, going after one of the biggest artists in the world. Like, you can, no matter how you feel about the beef, you can never take away from the fact that Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world right now. And you can't take that from him. And I don't expect anyone to take that from him. However, to see that boy, that David versus Goliath, and to see, as it's told, David winning that, it's inspiring, and it's like, it truly shows, in my opinion, solidifies Kendrick as one of the greatest rappers in the 21st century. Here is on full display. He doesn't mince words. He actually he has double entendres and double meanings to the words he's already saying. That's how much this art form and this medium means to him. Y'all said he couldn't make dance music? Put on Squabble Up and don't dance. Put on TV Off and don't dance. Put on Peekaboo and don't dance. I dare you. You can't do it. Even though, like, Kendrick has definitely made anthems before, I hate the whole narrative. Kendrick can't make dance music. And even if he didn't, why does that matter? All artists have their own lane. I don't understand why that was such a big critique of Kendrick going into the Drake beef. It has nothing to do with his technique and his care and how phenomenal of a performer Kendrick is. If it's one thing I hope that this beef has showed to a lot of people, is that not only is Kendrick really tapped in with the culture, but he is probably one of the greatest live artists out there. Watching him kick major ass on the pop out and just his breath control and not even using backing tracks, Kendrick really cares about this and puts his all into it. He is a phenomenal performer, and I take so much inspiration from Kendrick as an artist. Like, he has so much love for the game, so much love for the hustle. He's not willing to mince any words, be taken out of any context, and really put his all on the line. This album is filled with a lot of aggression, a lot of ego, but it's also filled with a lot of like, yo, like, I do have these issues, I do have my vices, reincarnated, where he is channeling the spirit of Pac. So I love that song. That's probably one of Kendrick's best songs. He talks about living different lives and how all of the great artists before him, I think he was referring Billie Holiday and her issues with drug addictions and stuff. That song is so good. And Kendrick is always being open and honest about his vices. And he, on this album, is like, yo, like, I have my vices. I am hypocritical. I do have my issues, but I'm Die, baby. I'm Kung Fu Kenny. What you finna do about it? You know? So I love that about this album. It has so much energy. It has so much life. It has so much going for it. And I really, really enjoyed this album. Honestly, I'm gonna have to give this album a 9 out of 10. I love this album top to bottom. I had so much fun. I'm so excited for the visuals that are gonna come from this, and I am so excited for that album that will be dropping. There's no way Kendrick's not gonna drop again. I'm very excited. But yeah, guys, that is my review on GNX. That was a tongue twister, Jesus, or Grand National. But what did you guys think? Did you like this album? Did you not like it? I would love to have a conversation with you all in the comment section down below. It's Team Dot over here, baby, for real. And this project really solidifies for me that, yeah, Kendrick is versatile. He has a lot of things he can give to the industry, and I cannot wait to see what he gives next. But as always, y'all, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch y'all on my next video. And as always, peace, love, safety, and I will see y'all next time.